Good. Okay. How many of you like baking stuff? You like putting stuff together? Excellent. I do too. Then you know that the ingredients matter. Like there's a difference between baking soda, baking powder. There's a difference between sugar and salt. Anybody accidentally mixed those two before? Like this is perfectly green. But if we had made it green with pickle juice, it would taste a little different, wouldn't it? Right? Like that. I mean, that would change the flavor. Any of you ever had those jelly beans that have like the wrong flavors in the, like it's like the bamboozled? Yes. Any of you had those? Okay, yeah. So you have if you haven't, they sell those jelly beans where half of the box is normal. It's like cherry, green apple, bubble gum. It's the things that you care about. And the other half, which is the same exact color, is like vomit and grass and and you don't know what you're getting. And you just reach in and you pull one out and you hope you're not eating vomit, right? That's, sometimes you can't really see until you get close to it, and then you find out the ingredients. And the ingredients matter. And we're in a series called On Your Own, and none of you are on your own. In fact, all of you have friends that are around you. But the question is, what kind of ingredients are in your friends? In other words, what are the things that your friends have that they're bringing to your friendship? And there's quite a few different kinds of ingredients. I asked last service some of what ingredients that they look for in friends, and they had some really good answers. When I was in middle school, I had some awesome friends. One time, me and my friend, we were in high school, but we contacted one of our Vox leaders, and we were like, hey, just so you know, we're going to go and prank somebody's house. And he was like, sounds great, because it was his house, and he was out of town, and all the Vox girls were having a sleepover there. And so me and my friends decided we were going to go and TP the whole house. So we showed up at night, we snuck up, we like hiked through everybody's neighborhoods, we were dressed all black, we TP'd the house, we got it, and then we rang the doorbell and went and hid. And we rang the doorbell and ran across the street and laid down in the field and just watched. And all these girls, all the Vox girls, they came out, they were running around, they were screaming. We thought it was so funny until we noticed all the girls ran out with cartons of eggs, because my youth leader had told the girls on us. He told them we were coming. And so the girls came out, each with their own carton of eggs ready. And the girls just went ham. They chased us through neighborhoods for hours. We ended up all getting pelted with eggs. It was a lot of fun. All right, we had a lot of fun. And sometimes when it comes to your friends, that's kind of just what you care about. You're like, man, can I just find some people to have fun with? But what if fun is not the only important ingredient? In fact, what if it's not the most important ingredient? What if it's not the thing that matters the most with our friends? I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about a story when Jesus picked one of his friends. It was a guy named Simon. Now, he had met Simon before, but there was a day that Jesus decided to make Simon his friend. So Jesus sees this guy Simon, who has spent the entire night, as Luke 5 tells us, the entire night fishing, caught nothing. Jesus comes up and he tells him, hey, you need to try one more time. And nobody wants to do that. It's like when you finish an entire school day, you don't get home and go, man, I can't wait to do my homework. This sounds like fun, right? You don't do that. And so these guys had just spent an entire day trying to fish, caught nothing. But Jesus goes, hey, I want you to try again. And what happened was they caught so many fish that it began to sink their boat. That's how much fish they caught. What's interesting, though, is Peter's reaction, Simon's reaction, because this is a miracle. This is an incredible moment, right? This is an incredible moment. I'm sure if you were Simon, you would be going, oh, this is awesome. Jesus, you should hang out with me more often because I'm going to be rich today. Thank you so much. I get to sell a ton of fish. Thanks for hooking me up. Let's keep this Jesus guy around as much as possible, right? That's what most of us would be thinking. That is not how Simon responds. Here's what Simon says instead in Luke chapter 5, verse 8. When Simon realized what had happened, he fell to his knees before Jesus and he said, "Oh Lord, please leave me. I'm such a sinful man." For he was awestruck. What happens is Peter goes, "Oh, Jesus, I'm a bad guy. You shouldn't hang around me. I'm not the kind of friend that you want around you. I'm not the kind of person who should be around you, Jesus. I'm a bad person." And Jesus goes, "Hey, I want to spend time with you because I know that there's more in you than you recognize." And Jesus then begins a friendship with Peter that ends up transforming his life. I don't know if you realize this or not, but your friends will shape you. And the kind of friends you have will shape who you become. So we need to figure out what kind of ingredients should our friends have. We're going to talk about this. Let's do something real fast. Let's turn into our tag group. So we're going to spend a few minutes together, and then we'll be back. Fantastic. Proverbs 18:24. It says this: "There are some friends who destroy each other, but a real friend sticks closer than a brother." There are friends who, and I love that it's in quotes, right? There are friends who destroy each other. The Bible tells us, and this is really important, that there's some people who you can spend a lot of time with, who you can hang out with, who will actually hurt you. Maybe they don't hurt your feelings, although they could do that, but they also can change you to a point where it destroys who you are. That means a couple of things. There are friends who can destroy each other. Destroy is a strong word. But what's true is that the people that you surround yourself with have an impact in your life and they change you. And if they have the ingredients for destruction, then that's what will happen. The opposite is also true. There are some friends who will stick closer than a brother. And that's an interesting one. I don't have any brothers. I have a sister, and so I'm the brother, right? And here's the thing about siblings. How many of you have siblings? You know what's amazing about siblings is as much as you might disagree with them, they still kind of love you. As much as you eat their food when they're not looking, they still put up with you. As much as you do wrong things, they are so fast to tell on you, right? Like the moment that you do one thing wrong, they go, Mom! Right? And you're in trouble. But you know what? Your siblings are always there. They love you, and because they get you in trouble when you should be in trouble, sometimes it makes you better. Isn't that true? I mean, imagine if you got away with every bad thing that you did. Would you be a bad person or a good person? Be a terrible person. All right, so the Bible says that friends, there are two kinds of friends. There are some that love you like a sibling does, that they're in your world, that they care about you, that they help make you better, that they're not going anywhere even when you mess up. Those are good kinds of friends. There are other kinds of friends who will call themselves friends, and they'll call you their friend, and they'll destroy you. You know, what's incredible is I grew up going to JVOX, and my friends, the same friends that I could go and prank houses with, of people that we knew and loved and cared about, are the same friends who, when I messed up, would sit me down and say, "Hey, Josh, that wasn't okay." They were the same friends who would challenge me to grow closer to God. They were the same friends who, when I was goofing off and I needed to focus, would call me back. They were the same friends who, even when I got mad at them and hurt them, still showed up for me. Those are the kinds of friends that you're looking for. Those are the kinds of friends that we're supposed to be, because our friends will shape us. See, one of the things that we forget sometimes is that we are changing. Now, you might recognize this a lot easier during your middle school years, because some of you came in your very first day, 5th grade, you show up for JVOX, and you come in and you're like 3 foot tall. And you come in and you're like, "Hi, Mr. Josh, how are you?" And those are the boys, right? And I remember some of you. Coming in the very first. We had our move up Sunday, and you came to JVOX from Kid Life, and you were just and this tall, and then by the time you're in 8th grade, you've got more facial hair. You've got a voice that sounds like Darth Vader. Like, things have shifted in your life just a little bit, right? And what you may not realize is that you are changing. But while you're changing to become like the people you surround yourself with. Your friends have an impact on you. Now, here's what's good. Here's what's really good. Your friends will help you grow closer to Jesus by God's design, because that's what friendships are for, if your friends are focused on Jesus too. Now this is really good. Like, God gave us friends so that your friends can help make you better. That is why we have friends. Otherwise, God would have just given each of us our own planets, and just been like, hey, you get the whole planet, make it rock, have fun, enjoy it, just live it up. That didn't happen, right? We're all stuck here going to the same math class every single day. Hey, I love math. Don't even, I have zero math complaints, y'all. I agree. No. God put people around you so that you have friends, because your friends are supposed to help you grow. So it's important that you're mindful of who your friends are, because you're going to become like them. It's important that you're mindful of who has influence in your life. And you may not know everything about your friends. Can I tell you something? You probably should get to know who your friends are. I know that sounds silly. I know that sounds simple. I know you're like, we already do. Maybe you do. But I imagine, I could be wrong. I imagine if I asked this side of the room and said, hey, what is your best friend's favorite color? You would go, I don't know.
Orange.
Color? I don't know. Hey, it's important to find out some things about your friends, and knowing somebody's favorite color doesn't mean you know them. But what are they like? What do they value? What are they about? Are they for Jesus? Proverbs 13:20 says this: walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. There's a difference between the way we use wise today and the way the Bible means wise in this verse, and it's really important. Wise in that verse doesn't mean smart. That's important. It doesn't mean that you need to be friends with the smartest people you know. A wise person, when you talk to a person who is wise, sometimes wise people are wrong. They can be wrong. Wise people can be wrong. But when you tell them that they're wrong, they go, oh, let's change. When a wise person learns what a good thing is, or learns what the right thing to do is, or learns what wisdom is, they go, oh, I'm going to do it like that. That's wisdom. They do the good when they know what the good is. But a foolish person, when you go, hey, this is what you're doing is wrong, you should do something else, they go, oh, thank you. And as soon as you turn around, they do the wrong thing again. They're just waiting for you to not look. A foolish person is the person who they know better, and they still do the wrong thing. And the Bible says you will become either wise or foolish depending on who you put yourself around. So the question is, who are you putting yourself around? Do you have friends like Jesus? And Jesus shows up in Peter's life, and he makes Peter better. He sees something in Peter, and he makes Peter better. Do you have friends in your life who are making you better? Or if you were to look at your friend group, are your friends set to destroy you?